You may recall about 4 weeks ago, I recorded a video where I basically was telling everybody I needed to take a break. And I needed to take a break because I was in pain. Between my wrist and my elbow, I was in a lot of pain. So I took a few weeks off to kind of rehabilitate myself a little bit and kind of limit my usage of all the things that I do. So today I want to talk to you about how I made myself more pain-free. Let's go. What's going on, everybody? My name is Dave Connery. I'm an artist designer based in Southern California, and I am feeling better than I have in weeks. When I took that short break, I made an assessment of what was actually causing me the most pain. And the single most biggest culprit is this device right here. Just holding this right now, I can already feel the stress trying to do this or trying to do this. I could feel the stress in my wrist just by doing that right there. We're getting rid of that for a while. Okay, I'm not actually getting rid of my phone, but I am trying to use it a whole lot less. These days, most of my mobile activities happen on this device right here because, well, number one, it's bigger, the screen's bigger. It's a little bit heavier, so that causes a little bit of an issue, but it does have this thing, which makes it easier to, point and draw and sometimes play video games. But really, even this thing was causing a little bit of stress because of the way that I was managing. If I stop using the phone as much and I maybe don't use the iPad quite the way I was using it before and be a little bit more, efficient and ergonomic about how I approach that, then what other ways could I do things in my work life to help, alleviate some of this pain that I was feeling? The final place that causes me the most pain is sitting right here at this desk, or any desk really. Anytime I work at a computer now, it's really not comfortable. Just as I was about to start digging into figuring out what was a better way to arrange my desk, the fine folks over at Grovemade.com reached out to me. Not for nothing, this is a sponsored post. This is my very first sponsored video. I've talked about that before. I'm pretty stoked about the fact that somebody's actually reaching out to me. They want to, sponsor me to do this thing. And so, thank you very much for Grovemade. Aside from this being a partnership between Grovemade and I really want to stress the idea that I have no intention of just speaking out about any company unless I am firmly behind what they do. And once I saw what Grovemade was offering, I was like, I'm all in. Grovemade is a Portland-based, I'm almost a little bit hesitant to call them a furniture company. They really are more of a design agency that just happens to work in wood. As soon as I got the email and started checking out the stuff that they offered, I was like, oh my gosh, I am so all in on this. What designer doesn't love, number one, stuff that makes his desk look cool, but two, is also really functional and helps him do their job. The flagship offerings at Grovemade are pretty much their desk stands where they can put different things in monitors and laptops and whatnot, but they also offer things like mouse pads, like large desk pads. They also have a bunch of little accessories to help make your desk not only look beautiful, but also, ergonomic and just, overall and appealing to the eye so that you feel comfortable and eager to get to work. Not to mention, it makes for a great backdrop for Instagram photos and YouTube videos. Just saying. When I scroll through their website, what I notice most is that, number one, they just are on point with how everything looks. Obviously, they're spending a good amount of time on their branding and whatever, and the products just look top notch. Even though I may not necessarily need all of the things in their product list, I definitely want all of the things in their product list just so I can have all of this cool stuff. Aside from the fact that they make really great products, there's also this sense of like a really good family or community going on within the company. Everything just feels like people work well together and they're really all focused in on the vision of what Grovemade stands for. But let's be honest, what you really want to know is how is Grovemade gonna help me or you make your life a little bit easier? So the first thing they sent me was this really nice felt desktop cover. This is so nice, super thick, a substantial piece of felt. And you might think like, well, it's just a piece of felt, but not all felt is created equally. This is some really high-grade stuff. Just as a tabletop cover, it's one of the best things I could possibly do because, as you can see, the rest of my desk is white and it's getting scratched up like crazy because of me moving my computer all over the place. But this thing is helping keep that from happening. The only thing about this, and this is really more about the size of my desk than anything else, because I needed a more narrow desk in this particular space. This desk pad is actually a little bit long. It goes a little bit further than the back of the table. In fact, I kind of have to tuck it in there. I thought about maybe I could just cut it myself and doing that, but I'd probably mess it up. So I'm just kind of tucking it between the desk and the window at this point. The next thing they sent me was this laptop or monitor stand. Originally, I had it set up as a monitor stand. So I had the monitor up on top here, and then I had my laptop down below, and I was kind of doing an over-under thing, and that was really kind of ineffective for me. This stand is actually really high grade, high quality, well built. It's many layers of veneer put together. Look at how beautiful this wood is. It's so nice. I could put skateboard trucks on it and skate it almost. As you can see, Grovemade also has this other thing called a laptop riser. I was tempted to go this direction with it, but I thought that what was lacking from this one is that it doesn't allow for this extra space. This particular stand obviously allows me to move my keyboard out of the way, maybe put my mouse out of the way, and then I've got a little bit of space to work on my relatively narrow desk. The riser is really cool because it puts the computer up a little bit higher up, and then I could probably raise my monitor up a little bit higher, but I'm not sure if that's actually the solution for my situation. There are other stands available. They have one that's like this, but it's more of an elevated and the situation, so that's kind of cool. I dig that too. They also sent me this really high quality utensil holder. It's split down the middle so you can have a few different things together, and it's got my pens and a pencil and my scissors, because I was constantly going into my drawer to find different things, and this way now I have it on the desk and it's done in a good way that is also solid. Sometimes you get some of these things and they're flimsy and they fall over. This one's not going anywhere. Finally, what might be my most favorite thing that they sent me was this pen stand. This thing right here, you could probably kill a small deer with this. And this pen is really nice. It writes really nice. They sent a bunch of different ink cartridges. I don't know what type of ink they use, but the ink is really nice. It writes really smooth. Angled cuts keep the pen from rolling around when you have it sitting on the desk. It just feels good to write with and just to kind of hold on to in general. Plus, it's got a really good substantial weight to it, which sometimes can be a bit of an issue if you're working on it for too long, but who writes for too long anymore like this? At least I don't. Still, it feels good in the hand. You could definitely jab a giraffe in the eye with it. I don't think Grovemade made it for that purpose, but it is an option if necessary. Of course, once I put the laptop up here, I wasn't going to reach to type every single time, so I went and invested in an Apple Magic Keyboard. This is a wireless keyboard. It's the super thin one, and it also has the 10 keypad because, you know, in case I decide to become an accountant anytime soon. It's really lightweight, and the battery seems to last on this really long time, and it fits nicely right underneath there when I need to get it out of the way. From an ergonomic standpoint, I also invested in this just to kind of keep my wrists off of it so that when I am typing, I've got a little bit more wrist support. That was really just one of the things to, you know, kind of help my wrist feel a little bit better. One of my more important investments was this mouse by Logitech called the MX Master 3. This one is the MX Master 3 for Mac. I just bought this because it came highly recommended by several people, and it's just got a really good hand position. When I was using the Magic Mouse, I noticed that my hand felt a little bit cramped. My position on the mouse always felt weird, and as much as I like the versatility of the things that you could do with the Magic Mouse without having all the extra buttons, this just solved the problem a little bit better because it fits so much nicer in my hand. Plus, because it has so many bells and whistles and buttons and bobs and all that, it's got tremendous functionality that I'm still learning how to integrate both into my Affinity products, but also into DaVinci Resolve so that I can do my editing a little bit better. This is gonna help me take a little bit of stress off my arm when it's typing and, you know, put it more into here where I have just slight gestures that will allow me to do certain things. All in all, I really want to thank the fine folks over at Grovemade for sending me this amazing stuff, and I will make sure to put it to some seriously good use. And if you're interested in taking a look at their collection, go check them out at grovemade.com. I also want to give a special shout out to a guy by the name of Kevin, who's actually my representative over there at Grovemade. He has been an incredibly thoughtful and, you know, engaging person over there. Like, as far as, like, you know, being the first time I've ever interacted with a potential sponsor, they were really engaging. Kevin's really done a great job, and so Kevin, if you're paying attention, hi, thank you, you guys rock. Tell everybody over there at the shop that I said so. But now this setup makes me want to go to work, so I gotta go. Remember, be good today, be even better tomorrow. See ya. Watch these because they may be important to you.